Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the Factory Reset Chat. Today we're going to be talking about sleep quality, how to improve your sleep, and the effects that it has on you. Now, we just sent out an email, what was it, a few days ago? We've been sending out a lot more emails trying to give people more information about just ways to improve your training, ways to improve the effectiveness of your recovery, all of the different facets that go into our training as well. And one of the ones that we did recently was the sleep and how important it is. And it's one of those things that has such a big effect, not only on your recovery, but also your mood, your well-being, your hormones, muscle growth, all of those things. It plays such a significant part in. And we get a lot of questions, both of us as coaches, from athletes who overlook sleep in their routine as a main kind of, I guess, building block of the routine, like a main foundation of your routine. A lot of people overlook it, and then they come back and then they're asking about it after they realize that it's something that's absolutely pivotal in their success, right? So I know you get a lot of that question, or you have in the past gotten those questions about specifically recovery, nursing injuries, all of that, and it all goes into sleep. So the big thing with this video is we not only want to talk about the importance of it, but I'm going to give you some actual tactical things that you can do to actually improve your sleep. And it's not going to be just something as simple as go to sleep. Get 8 hours of sleep. Make sure you're getting, 9 hours of sleep every night and whatever, because there's different levels of sleep, and certain times you may feel that you get sleep and you actually aren't getting sleep, right? You're not getting the recovery sleep that you need, and how to actually figure that out, right?
Yeah.
So one of the first ones that I wanted to go through, and actually Cassie, you had the same one, is sleep consistency. So do you want to?
So the main thing that I start with when athletes ask me is, well, what time are you going to bed? And typically their answers are all over the map, and it kind of just depends on the day, right? But for most of us, we are working, right? So we consistently get up at the same time every day to go out to be to work on time. So your sleep should kind of reflect that in the same sense. So the main thing that I tell everybody to start with is getting your butt physically into bed.
Meaning having a sleep schedule.
No, just physically getting into bed at around the same time every single evening. Just because you're in bed doesn't mean you're gonna, you and I are perfect examples. I can lay down in bed and go to sleep almost instantly, where you can get into bed and it will take you a little bit to fall asleep.
Yeah,
right?
sometimes it depends.
Our children are the exact same example. We can put our oldest to bed and he'll fall asleep relatively quickly, and we'll put our youngest into bed and he is
doing flips,
wide awake, doing whatever, rolling around, playing with the car that he took to bed for like 30 minutes. So, but if you can consistently physically be in bed at 10 o'clock every single evening, I can guarantee that you're going to get more sleep than you normally do if you're in bed one day at 10, the next at 11, the next at midnight, then 9:30. And
so the first tactic should be then having a consistent sleep schedule of when you get into bed.
Yeah.
When you are, it is your non-negotiable, it is your, I am not staying up late, I am not watching these YouTube videos, that's me. I am not researching or doing more work, also me.
Two things that I will tell people to help with that is, because I know we all get into bed and we all start to do the death scroll, right? So set a do not disturb, which basically turns off all your sound and everything at whatever time you set it. So for me personally, I've set mine at 10 so that when I was in that death scroll, whatever I was scrolling, whether it was Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, whatever, right? I can no longer hear any of the videos that I'm listening to because it automatically shuts off. So I put my phone down away at that time.
So my do not disturb doesn't do that. My do not disturb makes it so I can't get any notifications.
Well, also does
I only have like a specific people like like you can call me.
It's probably a
because
setting.
it's setting to where like you can call me if you need something or whatever, but nobody else can. Like it literally turns off everything. What my phone has is a little feature that's in actually my sleep alarms that sets your sleep time to where if you set it from, I don't know, I think I have mine set from like 11 to 6 a.m. or something like that, or 11 to 6:30 or something like that. And in that time, it grayscales out my phone, so you don't get any of the blue light transmission, which is the thing that keeps you awake and triggers your body to not produce melatonin to get you to sleep. But the other thing that it does is it makes it so it kind of mutes everything. And it makes it so you're not getting notifications. It almost makes your phone not appealing.
Yeah.
Right. So it's
that's my do not disturb. Is no sound comes through, no notifications come through.
I'm gonna have to figure that out. I don't know how to do that.
I have it set though, so emergency people like you or my mom or my sister can call, and all that will come through. But that's the first thing. But the second tip that I give people is just set an alarm that says go to bed, like get into bed.
So how much sleep do you think for recovery you need?
Because
I know everybody's going to say something different. Like I get people all the time, well, I sleep 5 hours a night and I feel fine.
Correct. So there's a lot of different studies out there that will tell you a lot of different things. But I can tell you that the realm that is consistent across all studies is anywhere between 7 and 8 hours.
Okay.
Is ideal for recovery.
So there was a thing that, just keeping this going for the individuals that come to me and say like, well, I get 5 hours of sleep and I function just fine on that. There was an interview, and I know he's a divisive individual. A lot of people dislike him. Some people, whatever, supported him, whatever. But Bill Clinton, former president, Bill Clinton actually had an interview done with him, and because he was notorious, like very light to like low amounts of sleep every night. He was very well known for just being like a constant worker. Like he would get up really early, he would stay up really late. There was that constant thing, and he was really known for that. Yes. And when he was in his presidency, individuals asked him, it's like, is that your key to success? Is that how you've been able to achieve so much? And he goes, yeah, it's just like, I sleep like between 3 and 4 hours a night, and I get all of this work done. I feel great, blah, 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 whatever. Later on, when he got older, people asked him, they're like, hey, so if you could go back and change anything to help you now, like based on your brain, your health, your career, all of that stuff, what would you change? And he said the importance of sleep. He goes, I overlooked it when I was younger because I didn't have the effects, but what I didn't understand was the cumulative effects over time and the deterioration of my body. It's like, as athletes, we train really hard when we're in our early 20s, 18, or teens, or 20s, whatever, even up to like, mid 30s.
Yeah.
And then you realize, and everybody tells you, it's like, well, if you do that much longer, when you're my age, you're not going to be able to walk, right?
Yeah.
All of the old guys tell us young guys and whatever, like, well, if I train like that all the time, when you're my age, you're going to have so many problems and blah blah blah. But us younger people, I say us younger people. When I was younger, and when you were way younger, the thing is that we don't feel it at the time, so you don't have that input at the time that's telling you this is causing injury, this is causing damage, this is causing deterioration. You're gonna pay for this later because everything comes back so fast. You recover so fast. Everything, it's the cumulative effect of it takes a long time to start feeling. But sleep is that way, right? And Bill Clinton actually said that. He said that in the interviews. He was just like, it's like. At the time, I was a bit younger. I was feeling good. I had, all of this staff and the doctors and everything that presidents get provided. But the deterioration of his cognitive abilities, his body, everything that took place from him not getting enough sleep, he started feeling later on. And then he said specifically, like, that if I could go back and do it again, this would be a big thing that I would change, and I want to tell everybody this.
Interesting.
So it was an interesting thing, and it's something that I want all of our athletes to really take seriously. I just had this conversation with one of our fighters like 3 days ago. he was saying like, hey coach, so I have insomnia at night, and if I have insomnia and I just can't sleep, is there like some like training or something that I can be doing? I mean, if I'm not going to sleep anyway, I might as well get some training in. Right? And then it's like, so it's like, so I'm going to take the thing that should be recovering from my training, and I'm going to reduce it
and replace it with more training.
And it's like, well, that's a surefire way to really jack you up.
Yeah.
Overtraining, injuries, not only that, but like you're wearing down. Everybody thinks of sleep as body, as physical. It's like, well, I'm not giving the physical recovery that I need, but nobody's thinking of it cognitively. Your memory, your thinking, how fast you process things, your mental well-being. There's a huge amount of actual mental health effects that happen when you don't sleep. I am 100% a result of that.
Of no sleep.
Right? Of like all of the effects, the anxiety, the depression, the overthinking, the brain fog, the you name it, irritability, all of it from lack of sleep, or even when I thought that I was getting sleep, you're not getting enough sleep.
Well, your hormones and your regulation through your hormones is also linked to sleep. So when you're not getting sleep, or at least in bed resting and allowing your body to hit that stage of regulation, you're also harming your recovery in that sense as well.
Absolutely. So men, I know that for a lot of men, testosterone is a very, very important part. I mean, there's more and more studies, and this is a completely different topic we'll go into in a different video. TRT, testosterone replacement therapy. Testosterone has a huge effect. Sleep has a huge effect on testosterone. If you're not getting enough sleep, your body isn't being able to flush out all of these stress hormones that are keeping and suppressing your natural testosterone production.
Yeah.
So you are driving your testosterone into the ground by not sleeping. So all of the effects that come with lack or low testosterone, you're going to start experiencing. And if you're in your low mid-20s or younger mid-20s, you may not be feeling that just yet because your testosterone is like so high that you're bringing it down to here, and you're like, oh, I still feel really good, so you don't notice it. But then when you hit 30s or 40s and it comes down to like right here, and you're like, oh, I feel like crap. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So your natural testosterone goes down as you age anyway, but your lack of sleep drives it down further. And then you don't really notice it until it gets to like kind of like a low threshold.
Yeah.
And then you really start feeling the bad effects of having low testosterone. But the thing is that if you're high testosterone and you sleep all the time, like you're getting good sleep, you're getting good recovery, you can keep it up here so that when age starts affecting your testosterone, you don't have this huge change. It's a subtle change that keeps it relatively in a stable position. So what a lot of people don't know is you have several different types of sleep. And I'm sure you probably know these and you can add to this, but you have REM sleep, you have deep sleep, and you have light sleep. And there's several different even spectrums of that. So REM sleep is where you're dreaming. Deep sleep is when you're recovering. So that's the actual recovery of your muscles. And different parts of those sleep cycles play different parts of your body's kind of rebuilding. Okay, so like deep sleep is the production of HGH, human growth hormone. So when you're rebuilding your muscles and rebuilding your body and rebuilding your brain and everything like that, HGH is required for that recovery. You have to have that deep sleep. Same thing with REM sleep. REM sleep is extremely important for mental health. Your ability to dream, all of that, those indicators are actually what's helping you to regulate your mood, regulate your emotions, regulate a lot of the hormones, things like that, right? Is that true? So a lot of that happens during that REM sleep. So if you're not getting that REM sleep, and if you're not getting that deep sleep, you're not hitting the actual recovery that is needed, right? So one of the things that I like to, and I explain this on a different video, but one of the things is I get a lot of individuals who tell me it's like, well, I sleep fine. I sleep 8 hours a night. And I made this analogy on, I can't remember which video it was, but it was a previous video, and I said, okay, well, being unconscious for 8 hours and getting restful sleep are two different things. So it was the pool analogy that I made. It's like, okay, if you're swimming, if I dump a bunch of coins on the bottom of a pool, and your health, if I told you your health is determined by how many coins you could pick up on the bottom of that pool, but every single time you went into the pool, we'll call the pool, the water, unconsciousness, you stayed at the surface of the unconsciousness.
Yeah.
And you never actually
That
dove deep to get to the coins.
Yeah.
If you stayed on the surface of the unconsciousness, did you sleep for 8 hours? Technically, you were unconscious for 8 hours.
Yeah.
But you never actually hit the bottom to pick up the coins in order to, pay for your recovery.
Yeah.
So that's the way I like to describe it for individuals, especially those, because like I said, I know a lot of business people, I know a lot of athletes, and almost all of them say, I'm tired all the time. I don't feel like I'm recovering. I'm gaining a lot of weight. I am, my body is hurting. Like I get brain fog. I have to drink, 3 Celsius. I heard a guy yesterday or 2 days ago said like, I drank 3 Celsius a day.
Well, you used to be that guy.
I didn't drink that much.
No, but you used
Oh
to
my
be
God.
a multiple energy drink or a multiple coffee.
Yeah, I did, but I always had, like I looked up, because that's my brain, I looked up how many milligrams of caffeine per day is safe, and I think the limit Google told me was like 400 milligrams. So I'm like, okay, I can have 400 milligrams a day. That's this gigantic like bang energy drink is 400 milligrams, so I can have one of those. I'm like, well, that sucks because I like sipping on it. I can have 2 of these, which are 200, those are Celsiuses. I can have like 4 of the little Red Bulls, those are like 80.
Yeah.
Or 4 and some change, right? I can have like 4 cups of coffee, or so I did all that math, and that's how I regulated it. But I always had to stay under that 400.
Yeah.
Not that really means anything, and I found out later that it's partially a factor of how many milligrams, because caffeine has a half-life. But the other part of that is when you stop. So
because it doesn't just exit your body like within the hour. It takes the body.
Yeah. I mean, it has a half-life, right? If you have 400 milligrams at 8 a.m., by 10 a.m. or noon, it's at like 200 milligrams still.
Yep.
Or something like that. I can't remember the exact ratio of the breakdown, but it's something like that.
That's why everybody tells you that you should quit drinking caffeine around noon at minimum, unless you're obviously somebody that works like a swing shift or a night shift, right? Then that's different, and your body's going to be all different and out of whack anyway. But
yeah. So it's incredible how many people I see bring energy drinks to the gym at night.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I need caffeine to go through a workout, and it's actually caffeine doesn't actually help you get through a workout.
Nope.
As a nutritionist, you know that.
Yep.
It's like all caffeine does is block adenosine receptors. What adenosine is, for those who are watching who don't know what that is, it's the little chemical that tells your body to start producing, like getting tired, getting sleepy.
Like
I don't
winding
know.
down.
Yeah, it's like I don't know if it directly tells your body to produce melatonin or anything like that, but I'm not a scientist in this. But I know your adenosine actually is what makes you sleepy. So what it does is caffeine is essentially like if you have like a little pipe here and you have your adenosine going in here making you tired, the caffeine blocks that pipe. So the adenosine still exists and it can't get through.
Yeah.
That's why we have the crash. So for those who have the post-caffeine crash, is what happens is that you have the built-up of adenosine, and as soon as that...
It's like the floodgates.
Yeah, as soon as that caffeine is removed, you get that crash of all of the adenosine that you were supposed to be filtering through, and then that kills you. Like that just drops you with your energy levels. So having that caffeine crash, that's why they say like stopping the caffeine, but you have to have the good sleep, because the good sleep reduces the amount of adenosine that your body has. Your body produces the adenosine as a way of telling you like, hey, we need recovery.
Yeah.
And if you don't have that, if you get the good recovery, you don't have that, right? So that was another tactic, right? So eliminating caffeine after noon. I usually eliminate mine between noon and 1. because I tend to have a bit of a later night when I'm training. So what was your next one? So we went through sleep schedule, the eliminating caffeine after a certain time.
Yeah. So after, the thing that I like to tell people is after you can consistently get into bed at the same time is kind of stack onto that routine and either do something while you're in bed that will help wind down and slow your brain down, or do something before you get into bed to help that.
What are those things you think?
The things that I recommend to people are journaling, drawing, reading, meditation, breath work, and those are like the main things that really will help you wind down. I know that everybody out there will tell you to limit your screen time, but I mean, in all fairness, we don't even follow that. A lot of times we'll watch a show right before we go to bed, but we're physically in bed while we're watching that show, and then once it's over, we turn it off and we go to bed, right? And even though
you were reading for a while.
I still do.
Yeah. Get in there, read books or read, whatever.
I tried journaling for a little while, and I know for a lot of people it helps.
Well, then there's methods of journaling. There's mental health methods of journaling.
Yeah.
If you journal what you're grateful for at the end of each evening, like what happened in your day and what you're grateful for, you put yourself into you wire your brain into a mindset of abundance and gratefulness and like happiness.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's other ways too.
It's a key for depression.
So for me, when I was journaling, I never wrote what I was grateful for. What I would do is I would recap my day in my journal. And
you're just doodling "I love Rick" over and over again.
Wish.
Miss Rick Mitchell with hearts.
It would let me. It was almost like a way for me to vent and actually kind of let go of maybe some of that stress that I was holding on to from work or whatever. Like, this happened today, I was pissed, and then it was like, okay, well, now I'm done.
Yeah, it was like, it was your way to vent to yourself.
Yeah, it was like a summary of like everything that took place. And it wasn't just work, right? It was, my workout didn't feel great, or the boys were difficult, or they didn't sleep well last night, but it was just ways for me to like let go. And it was almost like I could feel my like shoulders relax after I would do it. But I feel that way also when I read, but that's because you make fun of me for it, but I immerse myself into books. Like, I feel like I'm there, or I'm living that. And so it helps me just kind of like relax and be in those books.
And I do make fun of you about it, but secretly I'm a little bit jealous that you can do that. My brain is so wired to analyze everything that I can't even get through a movie or a TV show without being like, no, that's bullshit. Nope, that science doesn't actually, that would never work. No, they just defied physics right there. I don't even know how they did that. That's magic. And then Cassie now has this thing where she just goes, shut up, it's magic. Yeah. Shut up, it's magic. Shut up, it's magic. And it's just like, oh, okay, it's magic. Like, we just, Fast and the Furious is in a magic world, which it is.
Yes.
You know, like this rom-com that Cassie's making me watch is a magical world of fairies. Okay, cool. So and she'll do that to me all the time. She's like, shut up, I'm into this, magic.
It's magic.
So, and I'm just sitting there analyzing it the whole time. So that's the third tactic we went through. So third tactic is hygiene. Okay, so it's, we talk about the screen time. There's ways that you can adapt your brain into winding down, either the journaling, the reading, anything that's really not stimulating. It's one thing that I found. I don't play very many video games anymore. I used to when I was younger, but I don't really have time for it now. But one thing I noticed is one of the only times that I have like time to myself is late at night. And I found that when I play video games, it's anything intense late at night, it's so stimulating that I'm like, when I go to bed, I'm like, this sucks. This is like I just drank another coffee. You know, it's like, what is this?
Yeah. Well, I think that's why a lot of people come out and say you need to limit screen time. And it sounds so cliche, but it's just because there are video games or TV shows or movies or whatever that amp you up and stimulate you. But there are also times for people And we use it where we can watch, and typically when we're watching a show in bed, it's something we've seen 1,000 times. So it's either Futurama.
As my protege, you should know that the only way to deal with a female adversary is to seduce her. Oh. This time we are sure she's a woman, right?
Yes.
Good.
That's the, I can like quote the episodes.
Correct.
I love it.
Friends, Big Bang, like things like that. Where
mindless.
It's
just
mindless comedy. It doesn't stimulate us. We've seen it 1,000 times, right?
Yeah, it's just mindless.
And so it's just like, okay, cool. Well,
old Simpsons episodes.
Yeah, like, and then we'll just shut it off and we're good to go. But that, I think that's why everybody will sit there and say, oh, it's blue light, and oh, it's this, and oh, it's that. But it's because for some of us, it stimulates us to watch TV, and for others of us, it doesn't. It's the same with reading or drawing or stuff like that. Like people like my mom. Like if my mom reads before bed, she's like, oh, just one more chapter. Oh, I'm so close to being done, I'll just finish it. And then the next thing you know, it's 1 a.m. So, right, like you have to find what works for you and what works.
I'm the same way with like art projects.
It's different,
Like
right?
if I'm editing photos, because I love photography, it's become like a little wind down, like zones me, like brings me back. But I'll notice that I'll just start going through them, and then before I notice, 3 hours have gone. And I'm like, oh shit! It's like I gotta freaking go to sleep. I have like a meeting in the morning. I have something in the morning. You know.
That's why I tell people to find something that they can either stack on to while being in bed.
You know who doesn't have a problem sleeping?
I know.
And then disturbing our podcast.
But stack on while you're in bed, or stack on to get into bed, right? So if you're going to do something like drawing or editing or something like that, that's not while you're physically in bed, is having that alarm on your phone to be like, okay, time's up. We have to put this away and we need to go to bed.
Yeah, having those to stack it up, having those to actually train your brain. And once you do it after a little while, you'll actually train your circadian rhythm to wind down at the time that you have set, right? And that's the whole purpose of getting in bed by a certain time, reading those books a certain time, because you're training your internal clock.
Yeah.
Right? Everybody calls it the internal clock, right? So you're training your internal clock to when I hit this time, this is my, I'm winding down, right? And your body gets used to that. Versus the people who are like, well, I stayed up till 11 this day, and then I tried to go to bed at 9 this day, and then I stayed up till 10 this day, and then I tried to go to bed at 8 to make up for it. And it doesn't work. It's like, it's literally like calorie counting in nutrition. It's like, well, I ate 5,000 calories today, so I'm going to adjust it by eating 1,500 calories, but then I'm going to go to 2,500, but and then by the time you hit it, it's like your body's like, what is going on?
I'm starving. I'm full. I'm starving.
I'm overfull. I'm starving. I'm overfull. You know what I mean? It's your brain is the same way.
Yeah.
So that's another tactic. Just keeping that consistency, keeping that good hygiene, trying to make sure that you're getting sleep beyond just unconsciousness, right? Limiting the caffeine, limiting the stimulants, limiting anything that's going to keep you awake, limiting the work that keeps your brain running. People say, and individuals say that all of your creative work should be done in the morning, and anything mindless, anything that's just repetitive tasks can be done in the evening. And that's going to make it so your brain can actually come down. Okay, so the last one I'm going to give you, this is just tactics wise, and this is the hard tactic, all right? These are the ones that I specifically use. Specifically, people say that if you are trying to get better sleep, you should not work out in the evening, all right, late into the evening. Now, for some of us in the gym, that's not a thing.
There's a lot of studies that say that
that's not a thing.
Yeah.
So a lot of this
it goes back and forth, and I think that it honestly has to do with individual people, because I can work out right before bed and it doesn't bother me. But anyway, go into what you.
Does it matter the intensity of your workout? Okay, so anecdotally for me and for a number of other people I've talked to, it does make a significant difference. So if I just got done doing a whole bunch of like fighting rounds, and then I try to go to bed right away or within 30 minutes to an hour, it's like I'm like wired. My body is amped. I'm ready to fight people. I'm still going, right? So for a lot of us, and I've heard a number of people in the gym say the same thing, that they want to change their workout schedules because working out that late affects their sleep. Some things that I've used to get around that are, one, I keep supplements with me. Okay, and I'm going to give you guys several key supplements that you can get over the counter. You can go to Vitamin Cottage, you can go to, or natural groceries, you can go to Sprouts, Whole Foods, any of the really major vitamin aisles, or even get it off of Amazon. All of these things have played a pivotal role in me being able to get better, good sleep. All right, and I'm not even talking about hormone stuff. Okay, so if your hormones are out of whack, it doesn't really matter what you take. If your hormones are jacked, it's going to be really hard to sleep. I found that out the hard way. And we're going to go through an entire different episode on hormones, TRT, testosterone, natural ways to boost it, all that stuff. But on this one, the three main ones that I do. So the first one is a physical thing that you can do. A lot of people, when you get home from the gym, first thing you do is?
Eat.
No.
Oh.
Clean.
Oh,
Shower.
Shower.
I'm looking at Cassie and she's like,
I don't know.
what's the first thing you do when you get home at night?
When I get home, the first thing that I do when I get home from the gym is eat. I'm hungry.
Oh, okay. So
it's not shower.
Second thing, right?
It's not the first thing you do when you get home either.
Most of the time it is, yeah. First thing I do is try to shower.
Depends
because
on the day,
especially when you're grappling, you're all gross. You have your sweat, you have other people's sweat. It's gross, right?
Yeah.
So the first thing you do is shower. A lot of people will hit the shower and the first thing they'll do is do what with the shower?
Turn it really hot.
Turn it really hot. You're gonna boil yourself. You're gonna be a lobster at the end of it, right? All red. Don't do that, okay? It feels so good. It feels so great on your muscles, but what it does is it actually makes it so your body is trying to fight to regulate temperature from overheating. All right, so your body is trying to make sure you don't overheat. You might even get a sweat going. For some people, it can build relaxation. Sometimes we get in the hot tub before bed and it builds relaxation, but the cool thing is that you get out, you get cold right away, and it brings your body back into regulating your temperature.
Yeah.
What I found out that really actually makes the difference is having a cool to lukewarm to cool-ish shower. All right, so you're not freezing, you're not ice bath, right? Okay. Because that actually limits muscle growth, but you're not scalding hot either. And it'll actually help your body regulate internal temperature, which helps your body calm down more. It helps it calm down faster. So if you're getting off training, you just did an intense training, having like a moderately warm / cool-ish shower, it sucks because you just want the hot, you just want the relax, but it doesn't actually help your body. If you notice, when you get out of a hot shower, you feel kind of relaxed, but you're also like awake, or at least I am. Like I'm like, yeah, I feel good now. Like I feel like I can go back to work out now. Like my body's all replenished, But if you have a cooler shower, if you notice going out into the cold makes you tired, right? It's just that your body's response, because all your blood goes internal for your organs, to protect your organs, right? So that's why the extremities get cold first, right? Your fingers get cold, your ears, like things like that, because all the blood's coming in. But it also makes you tired. So it makes you a little bit sleepy. So if you kind of bring in that cold a little bit, not freezing yourself, where you're like refreshing, invigorating yourself, but like a little cooler, brings it back, it'll actually calm you down a bit. Or at least for me it does. So, and that's been helping me. The supplements, getting right down to it, what you can actually buy. Magnesium, not just any magnesium. There's like 5-7 different kinds of magnesium, half a dozen kinds of magnesium or whatever. And they're all for different reasons. They're all for different things. Okay, so you have magnesium threonate, you have magnesium carbonate, you have magnesium glycinate, you have magnesium, and you have so many of them. And they all do this. I've done a whole bunch of research on this for mental health.
Which one do we need?
Magnesium glycinate.
Okay.
All right, so magnesium glycinate specifically works to help you actually sleep. It brings down your body's stress levels and will help you actually, if you take, I think it's 350 milligrams for females and 400 milligrams for males, but most bottles will come in like 350 milligram range. And for men out here, that's fine, right? So if you do a 350 milligram, it's usually like 4 pills. Taking those between 20-30 minutes before bed does the trick, right? For you, it'll help you sleep. The other big one a lot of men don't know about, and a lot of people can't even spell, is ashwagandha. Okay, ashwagandha has a huge effect on lowering stress levels. Or at least for me, it had a pretty sizable effect. If you want to get better sleep, taking a dose of ashwagandha. It's like they come in like tinctures or they come in pill form. You can do either. You can add it to your tea if you want to or whatever. For me, it's easier just to take the pill form because I can put it in my gym bag. And then right when I leave the gym, I have about a 25, 35 minute drive home with no traffic. And I take the pills then. So by the time I get home, the effects are already coming on, right? So, and it calms me down, helps me, gets me better sleep. But the other thing that it does is it lowers your cortisol in your body, the stress hormones, that'll actually improve hormones, all right? So your hormone balance. So magnesium glycinate, ashwagandha, you have glycine, which is an amino acid. Also, you can get on Amazon, works really, really well. Taking these all in combination can have a significant effect on your body's ability to calm down, okay? Now there's a number of different herbs that help with anxiety as well, and I'll probably list those at a different point, but they don't actually help with sleep. They calm you down, they relax you, they bring the anxiety down, but they don't actually help with sleep. Glycine, magnesium glycinate, ashwagandha, things like those 3 supplements specifically, vitamin D and K, all of those will regulate hormones, regulate body, regulate ways that you can actually get into that natural clock being good again. All right, so coolish shower, glycinate, glycine, magnesium glycinate, ashwagandha, about 30 minutes before bed will greatly help improve your sleep. Right, so those ones right there, limiting phone and screen times, having a bedtime routine, having a consistency, you're going to sleep, what you work on. What else did we hit on? Just as a real quick recap.
Limiting caffeine, but that was it.
Avoiding stimulation, and yeah, so really making sure that if you are diving into that pool, remember you're trying to get the coins.
Yeah.
All right, you're not just, I got 8 hours of sleep sleeping at the surface, right? And then you wake up tired. I was waking up tired all the time when this was happening to me. I was always irritable. I had a hard time not being just like angry and depressed and anxious. Anxiety, hugely dependent upon your sleep and your ability to get REM sleep, all right? If you're anxious a lot, get better REM sleep, right? Figure out how you need to improve that to get better, well-rounded REM sleep. Don't be taking the caffeinated pre-workouts at night before your workouts because it stays in your body. You get those like powders that have like 400 milligrams of caffeine in them.
They have caffeine free.
They do, and that's another
super
hack.
Important to you.
It's another hack. That's something that I take.
Caffeine-free one.
I take a caffeine-free one. All right, I have a caffeine-free. You can get them on Amazon. You can get them at your supplement stores or whatever.
I'm sure
Caffeine-free pre-workout. All right. And then the thing is that you don't need caffeine for a workout anyway. Okay, caffeine doesn't actually give you energy to work out. All right, carbs does. So if you want to have a good sustained muscle workout, switch from caffeine, go to a carb complex. There's powder carb complexes that you can take. I take one, it's called Carbolin. You can take it in a shake similar to the way you would take a pre-workout, and it is like 50 grams of like healthy carbs, and it just fuels your body for a workout. All right, so hope you guys learned something from this, and I hope this helps you all in your journeys for better recovery and better sleep. And I'll list in the description these specifically, and as well as in our fighter resources, which is coming soon to our website, lists of all of these, so you don't have to, come back through the different timestamps and figure out, well, what did he say? How do you spell ashwagandha? How do you it'll all be listed out for you all, so you guys can actually get this. You can actually purchase it yourself, and you can actually start going with this. So we'll see you guys in the next video.